right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Keeping It Real. It's another special segment. Today we're talking about Wu-Tang. This is Wu-Tang special edition, right? Thank you, T. We're going to be talking about C.R.E.A.M. Cash rules everything around me, but we're going to do a little play on it called CashFLOW rules everything around me.
CashFLOW.
CashFLOW rules everything around me, guys. So
dollar bill, yeah.
I thought it would be a great opportunity, man, for me to bring a couple of my friends in and kind of talk about some landlord stuff. You know, CashFLOW essentially deals with landlords, and I got three of the best landlords around right here. And I brought them in for a special reason because you guys, y'all know my vibe, y'all know my style, y'all know I'm not stuffy and everything. So I brought some of these guys here with the same sort of personality. So I'll let them go around the room and introduce yourself.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Onaje Barnes, long-term buy and hold real estate investor out of Houston. Been doing it about 17 years, and that's what I do. I'm a landlord, man. We buy property to rent it out.
Yep. Follow that boy. Go ahead.
Yeah, Malaki Sims, developer here in Houston. I've been a landlord for about 11 years. Right now, we focus on building homes to rent in opportunity zones.
Cool.
So, Tyron McDaniel, real estate investor, developer, builder, with a specific focus on inner city properties, and excited to be here.
Yep, man. These guys, they really know what they're talking about. They do it in the mud, what I call it. So it's nothing fancy about them. They understand. They get in the ground and figure out what needs to be done. You know what I mean? And actually moving the city. So I know you do a lot of things that's organizational, developer wise. You talk with a lot of city officials, type of things like that. So you know how to push network and move.
I try to network. I'm just selfishly I network. I'll smile at everybody if you got a property to sell.
But it's all good. So how you doing today? King Malaki is what they call you, right?
That's the name. I'm doing wonderful, man. I'm happy to be here. Actually got both of my mentors at the table, so you didn't even know that.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So mentors on mentors.
Mentors on mentors. Yep.
Right,
sometimes the mentors become the mentees. So man, don't get
Definitely
it twisted.
One of the smartest guys I know, like for real.
The mentee will come the mentor at some point.
When I saw him on Bigger Pockets talking about opportunity zones, they like pointed him out as like the opportunity zone king master in Houston. You know what I mean? So big ups to you, bro. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Tyron, what's going on, man? Houston Vintage Houses?
Yeah, Houston Vintage Homes. Just glad to be here, man. Excited about 2024. Just some of the opportunities that are in the marketplace. I think now is a good time to be in real estate. I think there are a lot of things converging to make right now a great opportunity to take advantage of some of the things that's happening in real estate. 2023 kind of ended, or I wouldn't say ended, but 2023 kind of threw some different things into the mix that we had seen in the market in several years. And so I think that's shaking things up, but I think it's shaking things up to provide some opportunities. And yeah, I'm excited to talk about some of those things as it relates to cash flow, owning properties, things of that nature. But yeah.
With a Wu-Tang flavor. Going over some of the head, man. We're H-Town, man. We gotta keep it calm. They don't know what we're talking about.
They gonna catch up.
All right, go ahead, OJ.
What up?
Tell me what you got going on for 2024.
2024, we've got some properties. A lot of my properties I've had for a long time. And, one thing about, we're talking about landlord that you have to remember is that, you got turnover. Now, lucky for us, we got a lot of properties that been with us, tenants been with us for a long time. So it's looking like those tenants are kind of running this course. And when you start to look at these properties, like, oh, yeah, I renovated this 8-9 years ago. I might have to go revisit that. So, I got some revisiting to do. We look like we probably gonna have about 5 or 6 revisits to look there. So we'll focus on that. I do think there's an opportunity where the rates are in the market and a lot of people are a little bit fearful in the market. Their fear is my opportunity. So we'll be more aggressive while everybody's sleeping. Look, I'm trying to motivate as many people as I can, but while I'm trying to motivate you sleep. So I'm gonna go ahead and make my moves. But most importantly, my number one thing that I'm looking at right now is commercial real estate is in trouble for lots of reasons. Too long to go into right now. But particularly, I'm chasing baby boomers. That is my client avatar from the acquisition and the customer perspective. Yeah. So I'm chasing small multifamily owned by baby boomers. They got to get out. 9 times out of 10, their kids are lazy and they don't want it. So I'll be their new kid, or they're entitled. So I'll take their property, and that's what I'm focused on right now.
So let's dive into that a little bit. Same thing. That's my custom avatar too. Well, also us. You know what I mean? Our age group. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Knocking on 50. We the ones
I
with
ain't knocking on 50.
with the ones that grandma house is sitting
Right.
there, right? So baby boomers, all you younger ones out there, baby boomers are pretty much your grandparents, right? Now I guess for them it's their great grandparents, huh? Grandparents.
Good grandparents.
Either way it goes.
Depends on when they were born.
It depends.
High side, low side.
When we was going having babies in ninth grade, it was different. But at the same time, like them baby boomers was the largest wealth holders, right?
They still are.
Yeah, still are. You know what I mean? And guess where they about to go? You know what I mean? Unfortunately, I ain't trying to say morbid or whatever, but they about to pass. You know what I mean? So all these people is sitting here looking for deals over here, looking for deals over there. The largest wealth holders are right there in our backyard. Like we know them. Like 6 degrees of separation. I tell guys all the time that went to Sterling, I say, man, you want to invest? Go look around.
Go drive around your own neighborhood.
You know what I
knock
tell
on your
people? I was like,
neighborhood.
look, your homeboy, auntie, uncle, like all of these are people in your sphere of influence that know you. You know what I mean?
They trust you more than they trust some random dude with a postcard.
100%. So you're looking for opportunity everywhere else when a lot of times, to your point, our strategic advantage is right there in our communities, but we're overlooking the people that represent those opportunities. So I'm glad you're highlighting that as it relates to baby boomers, because these are, and they can be your grandparents, but generally speaking, that's your aunt, your uncle, you know, and they're, 15, 20, 30 years older than you are. And many of those people have a house or 2 or 3, which this is the crux of this conversation. But not only do they own the wealth in real estate, but as well as small businesses.
Yes.
And they're transitioning into their twilight years, is how I like to call it. But 100%, these are people that are readily available around you.
Cool. So if y'all want to find some properties, go find some baby boomers and some problems.
Do what my man say, just drive around your neighborhood. They're already there.
And tell people you buy houses. You know what I mean? All those signs will be on the side. I buy houses, we buy houses. No, they don't. They find somebody to buy a house from them. You know what I mean? But that's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
Right. We'll talk about that one on the Nas episode. But anyway, we're gonna jump into these. We got some creative questions for these guys that I want to hear about. As you can see, they got a depth of knowledge going on. So I think these questions are gonna be fun. So all y'all that remember the Wu-Tang, the American Saga, the TV show, y'all get where I'm going with this. So every question is a Wu-Tang song. So my first one, since everybody from Houston that don't know who Wu-Tang, they know who Method Man is, right? Mm-hmm. You one of them guys that don't like New York shit, right?
I don't. Not at all.
You don't listen to
All
that
right,
shit music.
I'm a down south native third wardian.
There we go, right here. Represent the trade, baby.
I'm from South Park too, man. I just thought it'd be a little good swing.
Come on, let's stay with South Park then. You know what I'm saying?
It's a great swing.
But
This is gonna be a Fat Pat episode.
Yeah, we got Fat Pat. We like Wu-Tang a little bit.
I love the theme. Just you won't ever see me in Tim's
I got mine.
or my children.
All right, so
They're gonna be cold during the winter.
Yeah,
So since
I'm
you
ice
know,
cold anyway. They'll be
since
okay.
you know who Method Man is, so what's your method? So with that, I'm pretty much asking, what's your favorite method of real estate investing? I wouldn't say investing. I say, what's your favorite method of acquiring a real estate rental property?
Okay, so my method, it changes, right? Depending on what's best for that time, and I like to cater my strategy to the tax laws in that time too. So also your method, I think, should be kind of interpersonal and related to you and the goals that you have. So in my situation, my wife and we're both high wage earners. So we don't need as much cash flow today, but we need, we have children that we want to set up for the future. So I'm going to be more concerned about building assets for them that will still cash flow while I keep them until they can get them. My goal is to make sure that they have as much wealth going forward, more so than me having cash flow today. And the tax laws today are kind of benefit, development in certain areas. So my method is specifically, while this opportunity tax law is on the books, it ends in 2026, I'm trying to build as much as I can in those areas because that's the only thing I've ever seen that will potentially give me a exit where I don't have to pay any tax on whatever I sell. When it's time to trade up to apartment complexes like you do and different things like that.
You got no capital.
And I have no capital gains. It's easy for me to pull money out. And just developing in general, you can get into the house with zero money down because you're just exchanging the profit that you would make by selling it and just keeping the asset. So that's what I'm focused on now, but it's really specifically tailored to my family and what our plans are. I think everyone's strategy should be specifically tailored to you. It's a lot of ways to make money in real estate. It really just depends on what you like and what's best for your situation.
So you look at it more like your, I want to say, Chase private client representative. Like you look at it from a holistic standpoint. Like all my assets in place. This is how it's going to work for my family.
Right.
And this is what I'm going to stick to. A lot of people chase the bouncing ball because somebody got online.
And those people
I would call it a wealth creation strategy. You know what I mean?
And that's what you really, I mean, if you talking about rental game, you talking about wealth creation. And you talking about wealth creation, it's got to be tailored.
Right.
It's got to be. A lot of people, like you said, chase the bouncing ball.
Right.
And then they wonder why they keep failing. And it's like you chasing other people's strategy, trying to adapt it to you versus making a strategy for you that works for you and your family.
Sticking with it.
And sticking with it. But there is a bouncing ball aspect. I will say I will chase. And again, real estate is very advantageous when it comes to tax law. So in 2026, when we get a new tax law, my strategy will probably adapt to whatever is most advantageous to keep more of my money. So when we talk about cash flow includes how much I pay out and how much I give to the government.
Yeah.
And the smaller amount I can give to the government increases my cash flow. Yeah. So it'll adapt after the laws change.
95% of the boys ain't thinking on that level.
No, they not. Hell, I ain't thinking that all the time.
But that
I think that's a testament to how long he's been in the industry, as well as what he does professionally from a career perspective. So I call it a financial gumbo. We all have these certain things that we've done up until whatever point we start doing, in this case, real estate, that can be used as advantages. A lot of times we think that what we've done previously has no impact. Well, it does. You just got to figure out how to apply it. And that's one thing I love that Malaki has done is he's figured out what his strategic advantage is based on his strengths, his education, and his skill set, and has created the perfect mix for himself and his family.
Himself.
Yeah.
Not to see all online, but for himself. That's cool. That's cool, man. Opportunity zones. Can you tell us a little bit about opportunity zones and in a layman's term exactly what they are?
Yeah, it's the biggest gift I've ever seen in my life. It should be illegal. Essentially, it allows you to build something. If you build something or significantly rehab something, some real estate, and you hold it for 10 years, you can sell it and not have to pay taxes. That's the main thing. And these areas are in our areas, in our communities that the government now wants to rehab and revitalize.
Yeah.
And it gives us the opportunity to go rehab and revitalize our own communities with zero money out of our own pocket at the end of the day. And we get a big windfall later on.
It's good. You're right. When we take advantage of it, but also if you look at areas like Edo, Edo is one of them, right?
It is. Yep.
Now you got big developers that's coming in, running that same play with $1 million worth of tax breaks or whatever. You know what I mean? So my point of saying that, not to say that, gentrification taking over, is just we can do the same thing. We don't have to have $1 million to do it. We can do it. And we can make what's okay for us to be settled with your family, what your family needs, and take that role. I think a lot of times people they don't understand what their definition of wealth for them and their family. Right. Because everybody say, I want to be rich. I want to be rich. And nobody put a number on it. You know what I mean? You don't have to get $500,000 to be rich for some people. That's right.
Yeah.
On that point, I was talking with I made a post on one of my socials referencing there's, the person who owns one of the largest property owners in America has like 97,000 units. And my point was, most of us don't want anything near that. You don't need 200-300 units. You know, we have a client in our real estate brokerage that have 4 houses that are all free and clear that bring them over $6,000 a month.
That's good.
All 4 houses. And they rode off into the sunset, bought their dream home, living their dream life with 4 properties. And so a lot of times you think you need to, have a prolific portfolio like my man here, or have 50, 100 houses or 100 units. And once you figure out what your number is, you may figure out, I only need 10 or I only need 12 or 5 or whatever that number may be.
$6,000 a month is a lot.
It's a lot.
That's good money.
That you don't have to show up anywhere for to
That's
get
good money.
Yeah, that's great money.
Yeah.
So that relays me, like I said, I have my 2 mentors here at the table. So the advice he gave me a long time ago, follow the smart money. He sold me a piece of land right outside of downtown. And he said, hey, Perry Homes is building a development right here next door. They're going to build, 30 houses or
42.
something like 40. I'm sorry. So you remember how many they built? He was like, they're going to build 42 houses right next door.
Yeah.
Here's a piece of land that you could build 1 or 2 on. And you can have the same breaks and advantages that they have just on a smaller scale for you, but it's still gonna make you money. They've done all the research.
Yeah.
You just following behind them, and every break that they get, you as an individual can get the same thing on your level and still make money.
So it's another guy on Bigger Pockets. He always mentioning the signs of gentrification,
Right.
like the bus stops, the sidewalks.
Right.
You know what I mean? The street signs. You know what I mean? There's just certain things that a formula that you can put together that you know you're going to start to see a positive return on your money. You know, so.
But you can also just like straight up, the city tells you.
Well,
Right.
yeah. Well,
Like-
that part. Yeah,
That's my
part.
point. Like, this ain't rocket
This
science.
ain't rocket
I'm talking
science.
about for the ones that don't want to drive downtown.
No, you gotta go downtown. Like, hold on. Like, all right, Malaki, you know, we got a private group, and you probably remember this a few years ago when they started announcing, probably about 6-7 years ago now. And you remember somebody had sent to our group, like, hey, they got a community meeting in Sunnyside. It was about 7 years ago. And we were like, hey, I think somebody need to go to that, right? And I know I went, maybe somebody else went in the group, and I probably showed up like an hour late, right? But I caught two things at that meeting. One, I caught that they're gonna be redoing the roads and the street lights and all that.
Right.
Two, everybody was pissed off. Everybody was pissed off. It's gonna bring gentrification. It's gonna bring gentrification. You're gonna raise our property values. And I was like, yeah. Yeah. I was like, yeah. And the fact that everybody was pissed off because they knew what was gonna happen. And I was like, yeah.
That's a hint.
Yeah. Like, let me
Let me
get
ask
in
you
here.
on this point, though.
Go ahead.
And I hate to make it cultural, but I find it so odd that we are the only culture that says, oh, you're going to raise my property values. And we get mad at that.
Well, because we don't know how to make money on the property.
Exactly.
That's the issue,
Exactly.
right? Because raising our property value equates to raising our taxes, which
100%.
equates to us losing money, right? And that's real, right?
100%.
But because what we don't do is we have grandma's house, or we have some older house, and then we go
We don't
move
do
to
some
the
of those things Malachi was talking about.
We'll go move to the suburbs, right? And so we're still holding on this property, and we paying this property taxes, and we're not renting it out because her renting is terrible, and we don't want to do that. Blah, blah, blah. And I don't want to reinvest because we don't know how to go get money.
Right.
We don't know how to leverage a property to go get money.
Right.
Right. We don't know how to get loans. We don't get lines of credit. We don't get HELOCs because great grandma, Big Mama told me not to get a second mortgage. Remember that? Yeah.
Right.
Like these are the
85.
yeah, and back in 1972, right?
Right.
You
When
know.
Carter was in office and rates were 18%.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
exactly. But we're holding to that, and we
Right.
don't really know how to make money on property,
Right.
Right, and we don't know how to make money because we don't know anybody.
Yeah.
There's only one landlord in the area, and he don't look like us,
Right. 100%.
So we ain't got nobody to talk to. We don't have no real tangible examples of how to really rent property, how to make money on property, how to leverage property. Really, for our culture, properties have really truly been liabilities.
100%. And but I think that we are able to obtain, we move culture and we continue to evolve. So to me, yeah, 100% we have to do a better job of education, but people go and get any information they need and want. You know what I'm saying? And so I think culturally we have to get out of the practice of looking behind and start to look forward and be more progressive about figuring these things out. You know, you alluded to an example that I see in my neighborhood. There's a family where the grandfather had enough foresight to put the property into a trust. However, no one picked up the mantle, and now this property's been vacant at least 15 years because they can't sell it because it's in a trust. But it's just sat there vacant. So like you're saying, it's an albatross. It's this thing around their neck that every year they're paying taxes on, when you have a piece of land with downtown views that's probably quadrupled in value in the last, at least I'd say in the last 7 to 10 years.
But all they know how to do is sell.
Right, and keep your grass cut. That's it. The grass gets cut. You know, it doesn't look dilapidated, but it's been vacant for all this time.
That's sad.
Juxtapose that, I have a colleague of mine, and his uncle bought a fourplex in San Diego in the early 80s, solely for the purpose to hold forever. And now every kid, well, not every kid, but a large portion of all the immediate children have gone to college from the income that's been generated from this property that they've held since 1980.
See, those are stories that need to be highlighted. You know what I mean? Those stories
Right.
that need to be talked about. When you talk about moving culture, yeah, we move culture with Cat Williams, but we ain't moving culture with these four gentlemen right here. You know what I mean? We need to start making this shit sexier. You know what I mean? And I give shouts out to Bigger Pockets. They did good, but bigger pockets, you have to go kind of seek the information, right? You got to want to go get it. And once you get in that community, it's a bunch of people that's going to help you out. Then you got to earn your leisure, you know what I mean? They put a little sexy twist to it and make people want to kind of come to it and join the hell. They had me fly away out to Invest Fest this year.
100%.
Well, you too. You know what
Exactly.
I mean? But even then, it still don't seem like it's hitting home enough. You know what I mean? It still doesn't. I'll take that back.
See, I think you gotta.
It's a slow move, slow process.
Well, I think we got to look at. Sometimes we got to look at where we're starting from.
Yeah.
Like we're starting from hundreds of years behind. And so if you look at, and, alluding to Black Wall Street and what the shirt my man has on, a lot of times we want to see this huge amount of progress in 5 or 10 years, but none of these people, this guy I just talked about, he bought this in 1980. That was 44 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Imagine the conversations my son and Malachi's sons are going to be able to have about things that he and I are doing today. So we got to stop thinking 5 years, 10 years, start thinking generation to generation, which these kind of conversations.
I'm not going to front. I'm actually quite excited about this era.
Oh,
Because,
100%.
because I think
100%.
when we got started, we were on a whole island by ourselves.
Right.
Like you got the EY, you got a whole lot
We
of
had
social.
none of that.
We ain't had none of social
We
media.
predated.
We
The
predated
internet
social
today.
media. Like look, like you got all these conferences and
Not
people
now.
charging thousands of dollars of conferences, and I'm like, man, I would show up to conferences that were for free. It'd be 500 people in the building,
Right.
And I kid you not, it would be like 3
Maybe.
people that looked like me, and one of them was the waiter. You know what I'm saying?
And the other one was probably 30 years older than you.
Yeah, facts, right? So this wasn't like 1% of the population. This
Right.
was like a 0.5%. So for me, just to have situations where people can get together like we're doing right now to have this conversation, just having the conversation to me is so much more like, because when I got started, it was, hey man, we're going out tonight. Like, why you, where you at? Why you over at that house? Why you keep going over to that house? Why you doing all this work, man? This is crap. Like, why you still driving this Nissan Sentra?
Right.
I drove a Sentra for 9 years. I drove a Camry for 13 years.
Word.
And people was clowning me for it. And I was like, one, I'm good. Like, I still look good. I'm straight, right?
Right, yeah.
And then 2, I was like, well, I got these houses that are the same as your car note or cheaper than your car note.
Right.
Right? Because back then, I was buying houses that was car notes.
Right.
Not house notes, but car
Right,
notes.
car notes, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, and they paying for your car. Like,
Right.
so, but those conversations were difficult for me to have. Now, people are like, oh yeah, no, straight teach me more.
Right, exactly.
So for me,
Exactly.
just that cultural change
Right.
is very exciting for me to just see people
Right.
wanting and thinking it's cool. Whereas 10 years ago,
And that's
it was
the process
absolutely
we
not
got to
cool.
acknowledge. That's
Right.
what we got to acknowledge.
And I guess from a progression standpoint, evolution standpoint, I guess I'm a little bit farther than you guys. So I'm just getting in the game. I'm still trying to teach everybody. Like nobody want to learn. I'm losing friends left and right. You know what I mean? They like you. Why you keep going over there? Why you not
Right.
doing this? You know what I mean? So
Right.
now I'm feeling lonely right now. I'm in that
Right.
phase where I feel lonely.
But it's kind of like
Well,
the
that's called the
conversation.
path to wealth, my friend.
Exactly. And it's kind of like the conversation we had. So you got to go with the goers.
Yeah,
And see, the
yeah,
world
yeah.
is so big out there. A lot of time we want to pull people.
Yeah.
This ain't a pulling journey. This is a collective. Let's go this
This
direction.
is you better follow me as our fullback
Exactly.
journey. This is a fullback journey.
So just like when you exactly. So just like when you identified us, we were already on a path. You said, okay, these are people I can connect with that's going this direction. So you have to find your tribe. You have to find those people who are like-minded. There are really more of us out there than we realize.
And that's what I'm
You
starting
know what
to
I'm
see
saying?
that.
But we operate in silos sometimes, and so we don't recognize
That's the
it.
problem
and it
with our
seems
culture is
lonely.
that we doing our own thing.
100%.
That's the biggest. That's the
Yeah.
next leap.
Boom.
Right?
Right.
That's the next leap. Like we're making the leap of changing how the conversation goes. The next leap is, hey y'all, we're not in competition with each other because
Right.
we all still losing.
Right,
Like
exactly.
keep
We so far behind.
We so far behind. We still losing. There's no competition here, right? And because
Exactly.
for me, I don't even. If you look at a football team. I look at myself as a fullback. I am not the running back. I am not the wide receiver. I ain't scoring nobody's touchdowns.
Right.
I'm
Gotcha.
literally breaking through, taking all the hits,
Right.
opening up a couple of doors for the
Yeah.
next dude to come behind me, because the next dude behind me is gonna accelerate past
Right.
what I'm doing.
Right.
You know, because they're
Right.
gonna have the knowledge. I spent I'm 17 years in the game. My first 9 to 10 years were like, if I could go back and just like tap myself on the shoulders, like, bro, that's not the way.
Oh,
but I
100%.
had no full
guidance.
life. I
We
had no
figured that out
guidance.
You had
Yeah.
no fullback.
Yeah, I had no fullback.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, but nobody blocking. You just take it
Nobody
out.
was like, I'm just taking take these hits, bro.
Tell me about it. Tell me
All
about
right,
it.
cool, man. That's great, man. See why I got these guys on here, man? They smart. I love this shit. All right, protect your neck. Remember that song?
Yeah.
Protect your neck. All right. What are some of the best practices, this for you, Tyron, what are some of the best practices that you use to protect your investments?
One, I'm a fan in, one of the reasons why I started investing in my neighborhood and communities like mine, because I felt like I had an advantage. I had somebody reach out to me because something happened to one of their properties and that was in my neighborhood, and I was able to go and rectify it. Why? Because that's my hood. So I could pull up. When they described to me what happened, I knew where to go in our neighborhood and talk to a couple of people and say, hey, who did this to this house over here? They don't go. You leave that house alone. You know what I'm saying? So one strategic advantage is working in areas where you either grew up and or know the areas. You know the people there. So you're not looked at as an outsider. You're not looked at as someone who's coming here to take. You're a part of this culture and community. So that to me is a strategic advantage and even speaks to the first question of method. So that's why I invest in the areas I invest, and that's one of the ways I protect myself. Other thing that's just more tangible that anybody can do is you got to have proper insurance. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't supersede that. I'd have stuff happen on properties and I just kind of take care of it or whatnot. And I remember speaking to a mentor of mine and he said, listen, you have insurance for a reason that you're paying top dollar here in Texas. Like, no, something happens, you need to go ahead and file that on your insurance. So having a sound insurance strategy to protect your property is important. And then this is also something how you buy. Yeah. Buying properties at a deep discount, which there were early in my career, and sometimes I still learn this. I bought some stuff last year that I shouldn't have bought because I didn't buy it deep enough. But the market was great. Everything was booming. I said, okay, we'll be able to make it up. And we weren't able to make it up. And so one of the greatest things you can do as an investor is you got to buy deeply discounted. As an investor, you have to buy deeply discounted, and you can't over leverage your properties, which speaks to having a sound financial strategy and the money to do it. A lot of times, I know in my career, I've rushed certain opportunities because the opportunity was there. And one of the things I had to learn is just because it's an opportunity doesn't mean it's my opportunity.
Yeah, boy,
it may be from Malaki.
Say that again.
You
for
know what I'm
people in
saying?
the back.
Yeah, like it's not about is it an opportunity? It's is it an opportunity for me? So a large part of protecting your neck in this industry is recognizing which opportunities for you today versus it might be an opportunity for you, but it's going to be a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now.
And you hold on to it.
Yeah. So let me say it like this. One of the things I learned, sometimes you got to slow down so that you can speed up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so sometimes slower isn't bad. It's better. You know what I mean? And real estate's not going anywhere. A lot of times, going back to something we talked about, we're trying to make up so much ground in a year, 2 years. But if you start to look at this business or industry over 5, 10, 15, 20-year segments, then it'll change. And for me, that was something, again, early on in my career, I was trying to accomplish too much too fast. As I got older, and I recognized, well, dang, when I turn 50, I'm still want to own real estate. When I'm 60, I'm going to want to own some real estate. When I'm 80, I'm going to want to own some real estate. So it helped me have more protective measures in my business because I had a longer term view versus a shorter term view.
It's dope. It's real dope. Cool, man. I love that. Well, you got something?
Oh man, my man hit it on the nail, and I think that's just a theme that people are talking about, right? Well, we've all talked about. It's about making sure that you're doing a strategy for you, and for me, my main one, protect my neck, is I hate somebody. I'm gonna tell you who I hate the most.
No, say that one for
Yeah, no.
Shame on her.
Shame on her.
Try to run game on her.
But really, but this is part of protection. I hate the Joneses.
Gotcha. That's good.
We not keeping the we not going
ain't
on
no
the east
race.
side.
You just said this ain't a competition.
This
right?
ain't a competition. I hate the Joneses. Everybody's always trying to keep up with the Joneses, and that's actually has protected myself by being insulated from the Joneses.
That's dope.
We all got friends that's the Joneses.
Right.
100%. That's how they live their life. They want to flash everything. Look what I got. I got the new Tesla. I got the new this. I got the new whatever. And for me, I've been very disciplined, even when I come into those spaces, to not let that mentality infect me.
Yeah,
that's solid.
Yeah, that's good.
That right there.
That takes a lot of discipline.
It's a lot of discipline.
It takes a lot of discipline.
It's a lot of discipline.
Especially when we in everybody want to flex and cap and everything.
Social media area, flexing, capping. They got.
But then again, I come back down to our age group, right? I think we're at that age. Like we didn't spent the shit. You know what I mean? We bought some shoes. We bought some clothes. You know what I mean? It ain't no fucking house or a jet by now. Ain't nothing to talk about. You know what I mean? I'm talking about big house, big personal house. You know what I mean? So you guys are buying houses that most people don't even think they can see. You know what I mean? You got houses that most people, you got many houses that them people like, man, how to get all those houses? And I used to be that guy. I used to be like, man, how to get that? I got the connections now. I know how to find the houses. Then I was like, I went to talk to Andre. Matter of fact, Andre Barrois, I said, man, I think I know everything but I don't know how to get no money. He's like, what you talking about? You got money all around you. I got like money in my pocket that I got to spend before this time. I'm like, you know what? I do. And I just started thinking about you. I just started thinking about y'all UT guys. I say, don't say no names, but you know what I mean? I was like, these guys got the money. Yeah, they got bread. So I just got to put together a solid plan, you know what I mean? So I've done a couple deals since then, and I done put myself together, and I put that money in the bank, and I'm like, baby, I don't have nothing I want to spend. I don't want to buy nothing. This is nothing that I really want right now.
That means it's time to invest.
Yeah.
It's time to invest.
That's a great place to get to.
It, you know what I mean?
To the point to where, you've done all the frivolous spending and stuff like that, and it's like, that doesn't excite me. Oh, what do you want for Christmas? Your birthday? A house.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A house at 60% LTV. That's what I want.
Exactly.
Buy me about 10 of them.
$500 in cash flow.
Exactly.
That's what I want for my birthday.
First time in my life I ain't have a W-2 job, but I'm the richest I've ever been in my life.
100%.
You know what I mean? So that's just a testament to everything that I thought was right and everything that America's teaches us. You know what I mean? Like we really got to get outside the box, start aligning ourselves with people who's moving and shaking and turn their fucking TV off.
Word.
The TV is a killer. All right, man. I got one more since you brought this up. You didn't want to call nobody out, so we're calling out people. We're not calling them out by name. We're calling out by industry or by trade or whatever else. So this question I call shame on a nigga.
Try to run game.
So give me a trade or industry that you think is real shady in this thing. You know what I mean? It could be.
Well, I already told you I hate the Joneses, right? So I just hate them with a passion. Right now, I think we have strange bedfellows between social media and wealth accumulation talk conversations, right? We have very, very strange bedfellows. And what I mean by that is you got people that are trying to grow brands and become influencers and grow a social media presence, right? And, fake journalists and all this other kind of stuff, right? And that's just all about clicks.
Right.
That's all the motivation is.
Right.
But then right now it's also cool to talk about money and wealth and all that.
Right.
And these strange bedfellows should be awesome together.
Right.
But right now, that's attracting a whole nother element, right? The people that care about more social media. So you have people that are growing their social media by having these conversations, but they don't really know what they're talking about.
Right.
They really ain't really in the game.
You got social proof before proof.
That part. That right there for me, and I don't mean to, again, that word, I ain't gonna front, I hate that word. I hate
social proof.
I hate it. And again, I know that might be controversial. I acknowledge the validity of it.
Right.
I acknowledge what it is for the future, right? I'm a brand guy by nature. My day job is understanding brand, so I get it from that level. But from a financial, teaching people how to make money and all that kind of perspective, it's terrible.
Yeah.
And it's terrible because social proof outweighs experience.
Tangible. Right.
Social proof outweighs tangible.
Right.
Social proof outweighs facts.
Right.
Right. Well, this person got X amount of followers that they actually bought for. That's not even real followers.
Right.
Right. And therefore what they saying is true.
Right.
No, it ain't.
Nah.
Right? No, it ain't. And there's a lot of examples I could go into, right? But you have people teaching classes and teaching people how to develop. They ain't never developed a property.
Right.
Right? You got teaching people how to be a landlord, ain't a landlord.
Right.
Right? You got teaching people how to do all kinds of how to do taxes, ain't got a CPA.
Right.
You got people teaching people how to do a trust, ain't a lawyer. Right? Like tell me I'm wrong. Right? Like you have a lot of people teaching and talking.
GPT.
Right.
Yeah.
We know. So does everybody else.
And so does everybody else, right? But when things go down and people say, well, you're supposed to do it like this, and I know you're supposed to do it like this. Well, how do you know that?
Right.
How do you know that enough to be telling people how to do that? And that's a tough deal. But and for me, I hear it because I've been in the game for a long time. I'm like, did you just copy what somebody said, or is this your actual
You've been
experience?
around long enough to see it on the other side.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Well, let me tell you what industry I think is completely, absolutely shady.
Yes, sir.
All of them.
Ooh,
Facts.
there you
All of them.
go. What he said.
Shots fired.
So if you in real estate, you got to watch everybody. Anybody that's not named Sydney Madeira Sims, I'm keeping my eyes on.
Not
I
Medea.
don't. That's my mama. I don't fully trust nobody.
Yeah.
Everybody. There's not an industry I've come across where if I'm slipping, somebody won't try to get me. I'm not saying a particular person, But someone in that industry, I can give you a story for someone.
You ain't
trying to
lying about
gank
that,
you.
really.
For every industry, you can't fully trust
I
nobody.
agree 100%.
And every industry ain't the same like that. It's all. I feel like it's just real estate where there's not a person in. I agree with you 1,000%. In real estate, everybody will try to get you.
Yeah.
I mean, in other industries, you can find some people on the up and up. I mean, like in medical industry, the doctor might be a good doctor. It might be a good
You
nurse.
have a lot of loose money when it comes to real estate. You know what I mean? Like I was trying to get my 1099, and one of the brokers said, "Well, we don't do that. I mean, we don't shoot your 1099s because if it comes from the title company, there's no traceability of it. So why you want to claim it? You know what I mean? So
Hold on, what?
yeah.
That's wrong. Yeah, I ain't never heard that before. Yeah.
But it happens though, because real estate agents know how to hide money and shift money and do all that. And I think that's cool, but I'll catch up with you eventually.
Right.
You know what I mean? So as I build my empire, I'm trying to build it on solid foundation.
Well, I can tell you right now, that's terrible because how are you ever gonna buy a property? If you need a loan, you ain't got no proof of income.
You're not bankable.
Yeah, you're not
So that
bankable.
tells you about
Right.
fucking with.
Right. And I want to come back to what you said about the strange bedfellows, because one of the things that I think a lot of times gets glossed over, nobody ever talks about losing money. Because you know, all the deals, everybody always make money. You never have, issues happen. And one of the things I tell people, I say opportunity shows up disguised as work. There's an issue. And
Yes.
you know what I mean? Like that's the only reason houses we can buy at 50%, 60% of value. The only reason we can buy. Exactly. And sometimes we find out there are other reasons we don't know about once we get into it. And so it trips me out. I have a partner on a project, and we were talking about something that was going on with the property. He's like, well, I never expected this. I'm like, duh, that's part of the opportunity here. Like, it doesn't always flow. Real estate is organized.
If it was easy to make money, everybody would be making money.
I'm like, right, exactly. There wouldn't have been a potential $100,000 payday on the other side of this thing if it was just going to run.
The key word was potential.
Exactly. And going from $100,000 in potential earnings to 60, you didn't lose 40,000.
No, you didn't.
Right.
Okay, I lost 40,000. No, you didn't. If you put 40,000 in and you lost that, now you lost 40,000. So I think a lot of times we gloss over what could be not necessarily just the downside, but the realities of any kind of opportunity that you're pursuing. There's the opportunity to lose as well. And that's, I don't like to say when people say, oh, nobody talks about it. People do talk about it, but folk don't internalize it or they don't pay attention to that. They, my deal is straight, I'll never lose money.
But that's human nature, right? We're going to look at the good. We're not going to look at the bad. But you in this game, if you in anything, you got to expect the bad. When I went into my flips, I always say, man, look for the worst. We get in there and come out winning, and then we good. You know what I mean? But anyway, guys, we hit our 5-minute mark.
Oh, that's fast.
Yeah, it was fast.
Time flies when you have fun.
Time flies when y'all dropping game, man. That's what it is. So y'all got anything
We
y'all
got
want to
3
say?
songs. Did we even get?
We didn't even get through my. I got guys. I got a whole list of like 10 songs. Like we're gonna have to do it because I got the other guys coming. So. But anyway, we can do this again, man. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's all open. You know what I mean? They here. They love doing this type of stuff. So we here. We can make do a Wu-Tang part 2, or we can do Southside.
Malachi want to go Southside.
South of H-Town.
It's
So
South Sea for
you had
real.
to come up with the clever wordplay and all this type of stuff. You
Okay,
want
we
to
can
come
do
up
that.
I'll give you a little time.
Yeah.
We'll work it out. We're going to bring some flabs in here.
Right. Yeah.
But anyway, man, I appreciate you guys. Y'all want to tell everybody where they can find you on social media as we go out?
I'm sure.
Yeah, Onaje Barnes on all social media platforms, IG, YouTube, Facebook, Onaje Barnes. Y'all get me up.
Houston Vintage Homes on Instagram is where you can find me.
Yeah.
The King Malaki, TheKingMalaki, or you can rent homes from us at Houston Retreats.
Okay, cool. And guys, they always, just like my social media is fun and cool. Yeah, it's fun and cool. You actually stole my idea and you don't even realize it. You take those clips from the old 90 movies.
Ah, man, I'm a movie buff.
Yeah.
I'm a movie,
See, I thought about it too long. And I said, damn, he already got it.
We'll run your own play, right? You run the play.
Right, put your little twist on it.
So it all work
I'll
out.
let my man have it. I'll come with something.
You got something else covered up.
Yeah, I got something else.
Sadly, I probably know more random movie lines and scenes than I should in my life.
That's all good. But anyway, guys, my name is Mr. Get Your Keys. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube now too as well. So this will be on YouTube, guys. So we out. We're gonna go ahead and take the show out, and we're gonna see y'all next time. Peace.